to you by
youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the Special Interest Group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Good evening. Welcome to the second edition of News Tonight. It's me, Micheal Lukomwa, with Dorothy Namuyomba. Let's start with a look at the top stories.
Brought to you by
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
CEC aspirants pledge unity, improved service delivery and standing against corruption. President Museveni urges institutions to prioritize science-based courses. 5 killed, 3 injured in a UPDF helicopter crash in Somalia. While Justice Minister Norbert Mao warns politicians against trading democracy for money.
Brought to you by
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
The second edition of UBC News Tonight. Welcome once again. People mandated to regulate, deliver and assess technical vocational education and training have been urged to prioritize quality and keep employees at the center of their work. While inaugurating the TVET Council and Assessment Boards at State House Nakasero, Minister for Education and Sports Janet Museveni said that determining the unit cost for quality delivery will guide government investment in the TVET system.
The Ministry of Education and Sports has begun implementing TVET reforms following Parliament's approval for the TVET bill and the President's assent making it a law. Upon joining the ministry in 2016, Janet Museveni formed an existing TVET strategic plan, under which 5 centers of excellence were established and 10 TVET institutions built. However, institutional reforms, especially curricula and regulation, remained a gap.
What was not accomplished from the TVET strategic plan were the institutional reforms, especially in terms of TVET delivery by TVET providers, TVET curricula and assessment and regulation of the entire TVET system.
She noted that the 2019 TVET policy approved by Cabinet now provides direction and anchors the TVET Act, under which the new boards and council have been created.
Then the overall regulation of the entire TVET system is now a mandate of the TVET Council. Whereas there has always been TVET delivery and assessment handled in the previous TVET arrangement before the TVET Act 2025 came into force on March 15, 2025, it is the first time now that the government has set in place a body to oversee the regulation of the TVET system.
Janet Museveni urged newly formed boards born from merging UNIMEB and UAHEB into Uganda Health Professional Assessment Board and UBTEB with DIT to validate staff and fully constitute their secretariats.
I urge the 3 pillars of the TVET system, that is the delivery pillar, curriculum and assessment pillar, and the regulatory pillar, to keep the employers, especially the private sector, at the center of your business. The skills we impart in the trainees must be those that are not only relevant but also of quality as defined by those who will provide employment to the graduates of our TVET system.
The TVET Council, chaired by former UNRA Executive Director Allen Kajina, has 7 members but awaits appointment of its Executive Director.
Chair for the TVET Council is Mrs. Allen Kajina. kindly stand up. The council has 7 members. 1 member is Sinkada Lalani.
The State Minister for Higher Education, John Crizesto Moyengo, said the reforms were long overdue.
Mama, after identifying the problem of unemployment, government came up with a solution. We started with a policy. Now we have moved to the law. From the law, now we have the people who are going to implement. This God needs to be praised once again. Thanks be to God.
Appointments were approved by Cabinet, where Dr. Alfred Riwali chairs Uganda Health Professions Assessment Board. Abdul Nasir Lukomwa for UBC.
We will rejoice and be glad.
Uganda targets to double the pace of human capital development from 39% in 2025 to 56% by 2024. While launching the Human Capital Development Review Report at State House, Nakasero, First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports Janet Museveni asked all leaders and partners to increase investment in human capital to address existing challenges.
The Ministry of Education and Sports, alongside sectors like water, gender, health and the World Bank, have jointly launched the Uganda Human Capital Development and Growth Review Report. The report, launched by the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, shows that Uganda's Human Capital Index stands at 0.39, just 39% of the potential from full health and education. Mrs. Janet Museveni wants all leaders and partners to increase investment in human capital to address existing challenges in order to meet the 10-fold growth strategy. Development must rise to 56% by 2040. Despite progress in education, health, nutrition, water and job creation, key bottlenecks remain.
These include the high population growth rate. They include limited employment opportunities, inequalities in human capital outcomes and services across various dimensions, inadequate level of resources, and I trust that you heard the words that the regional World Bank representative used right there. He said that Uganda has to urgently and dramatically increase the resources in this area so that we make a difference. Increasing the level of investment for human capital development. This is indeed the utmost challenge facing our national aspiration for human capital development. Once the level of investment changes, I believe that all other challenges will change.
Janet noted the TVET Policy 2019 and Act 2025 will strengthen inclusive growth.
Common purpose of the TVET Policy 2019 and TVET Act 2025 is to reform the way skilling of our people is done, not only by government skilling, but also in the private sector.
The report calls for increased investment and equitable access to quality services.
Increase expenditure on human capital to ensure equitable access to quality services. That is, increasing spending through innovative financing mechanisms like health taxes and PPPs, and safeguard human capital expenditure during difficult times. That is, trying to avoid cuts in the human capital budgets.
Ministries have outlined strategies based on a multi-sectoral approach.
Stunting. Ministry of Health will receive children who have malnutrition. But if we don't implement a serious multi-sectoral approach, where agriculture addresses the food security.
Our approach now prioritizes cross-sector integration, ensuring children are healthy enough to learn and youth are equipped with life and job-ready skills.
The Decent Work Country program which we are working on, focused on job creation, labor standards, and social dialogue.
We propose, or we hope to increase access to safe water to at least 85% in the urban areas and to achieve at least 80% in the rural areas by 2030.
The World Bank says 61% of Uganda's human capital remains underutilized.
Much more will need to be done to raise domestic revenue. I think this is particularly urgent given the continued decline in foreign assistance. We've seen that not just in the human development sectors, education, health, but across a number of sectors.
I'm Nafka Farida in Kampala.
The government of Qatar has extended an invitation to Prime Minister Robina Nabanja to explore trade and investment opportunities between the two countries. Prime Minister was meeting with El Jean Azid, an international consultant for the government of Qatar, with whom they discussed potential avenues Uganda can tap into from one of the world's wealthiest nations.
Qatar is among the top 10 richest countries in the world, being ranked fourth with a gross domestic product GDP per capita of $121,605 according to the International Monetary Fund report of 2025. Now, the Prime Minister of Qatar, His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Ibrahim bin Jassim Al Thani, has invited the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, to visit Qatar to explore trade and investment opportunities between Qatar and the government of Uganda. This evening, Uganda's Prime Minister Robina Nabanja cut short her campaigns in Kakumiro to meet the international consultant for the Qatar government, Mr. El Jean Azid, to discuss this working visit to Qatar.
So he came to Uganda because we was been talking for the relation between Qatar and Uganda. That is the reason why he came to Uganda, for the facilitation of the delegation to go there.
The Prime Minister informed her guest of the prospective trade and investment opportunities Uganda would wish to partner with Qatar government.
The President is aware you are here. I made sure that I inform him that you are coming. He's aware you are here, and I want to tell you, he sends you greetings. We want to industrialize our country. We have been exporting raw materials to other parts of the world. We now want to add value. So we are looking for partners to help us add value to our products. We have a lot of coffee. In Africa this year, we are the leading producer of coffee in Africa. Ethiopia was number one, but now we have taken over.
Congratulations.
Yes, we have taken over from Ethiopia. We have other materials. We now have gold. We have oil and gas. We are looking for investment there. Even timber. We have timber. You have been seeing forests. I believe you have flown over and you have seen the country green. That country is, our country is green without irrigation. It's gifted by nature. Told my staff to write a letter so that I can accept your invitation.
Thank you very much.
For me to come to Qatar.
The Premier also implored her visitor to take advantage of visiting Uganda to explore the beautiful sceneries of Uganda.
Inform you that Uganda has got tourist attraction sites. We sit just on the equator. And so we have River Nile. I think you have heard about it. We have very welcoming people. I believe you have already tasted this.
Yes.
Ugandans are so lovely.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and welcoming.
Thank you.
So many tourist attractions. We have mountains. We have Mount Rwenzori with snow. Don't go before going there. It is this other part of the country.
Nabanja also encouraged the government of Qatar to assist Uganda in taking care of the refugees in Uganda.
host 1.8 million refugees in our country. And so when I get visiting friends like you, I want to empower you when you go back to the Prime Minister of Qatar to inform him that Uganda is struggling to host and look after our refugees. We have so many refugees from DRC Congo. We still have those from Burundi. We also have those from Somalia. Uganda is a hosting and
South Sudan.
Yes, South Sudan, of course. We have many from South Sudan. So they all run here because we are peaceful.
The Bukonzo West County MP hopeful Godfrey Kabyanga has engaged with women groups involved in savings and credit catering and handcrafts in Bungamuyaga to village, Ihango Parish, Ihandiro Sub-County, Bukonzo West Kasese District. As part of his mobilization efforts ahead of the NRM party internal elections, Kabyanga encouraged the groups to prioritize saving money rather than distributing it among themselves.
I'd been invited by women groups, so I came here to meet them first of all to educate them about the best way of saving. Most of them normally save money, and at the end of the year they distribute it among themselves. But I'm now trying to discourage them not to distribute it among themselves, to continue saving and giving credit to members. And I was also trying to tell them to register their groups, open bank accounts, because most of them keep that money in boxes. So I feel they should now start keeping it in the bank. In the unlikely situation that a treasurer dies, it becomes a big problem. Sometimes the family hides the box. But also, I'm doing my mobilization. I'm looking for votes. I've also tried to educate them on what is going to happen and telling them to be calm during elections. They should not talk unnecessary ills against the candidates who they don't support. So I'm trying to bring some a bit of unity and cohesion. After these elections, I want to get them, for instance, pig rates, because some of them are in piggery, some of them are in poultry. I will look for, I will go into those interventions. But also I want to connect them to ministries like Rwenzori Ruero to see whether they can assist. I've also educated them to see how they can apply for WEP money, yeah, and then grow money, those who are in big business.
At least 5 people have been confirmed dead, while 3 others seriously injured following a helicopter crash in Somalia. 2 of the dead were UPDF soldiers who were flying in the crashed plane, while the other 3 injured were run over by the very helicopter when it landed at Mogadishu airport.
Yes, the crash happened yesterday, the 2nd of July, at around 7:30 in Mogadishu near the airport, at the airport. Our helicopter MY-24 crashed. It had 8 people on board. Unfortunately, 5 of them died. So that's the report I have. The body of the foreign comrades is reported to be from Uganda this afternoon. We expect to receive them at Serere airport. Well, right now I cannot tell what caused the crash, but the team that's going to investigate, and we know the matter would have a logical conclusion regarding what could have caused the crash. No, it was an internal travel. They are conducting routine combat escort missions within Somalia. These are routine activities. Yeah, 3 survived: the pilot, the co-pilot, and the flight engineer were on board. They survived. Currently, they're in Mogadishu at our African Union Support and Stabilization Mission level 2 hospital, which is within the base camp. However, there are other 3 civilians who were injured, who were around where the crash happened. So the injured are 6 in number now. The 3 were on board, and the 3 were on the ground who were injured as a result of the crash. It's unfortunate that it happened, but when you're in an operation area, sometimes such incidents happen, but there should not be a reason for worry in regards to the continuity and sustainability of the operation. The outcome mission will continue, and the Ugandan mission, the contingent, will continue to carry out its duties in Somalia.
Central Executive Committee positions are tightening up as many of the party members have been nominated to compete in the various positions. The aspirants for most top positions in the party have pledged to fight corruption, improve service delivery, and increase household incomes.
It was an exciting moment at NRM Electoral Commission offices in Kampala as supporters escorted their favorite candidates to be nominated for the party's topmost positions, the Central Executive Committee. The Minister for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo, is one such an aspiring candidate for the National Vice Chairperson for Central Region.
Trying to run away from NRM, it's because they have issues to do with land grabbing.
Kasolo, who wants to unseat Godfrey Chiwanda Subi, was seconded by 2 former vice presidents, Professor Gilbert Bukenya and Edward Chiwanuka Sekandi.
Well, this speaks volumes. And when you see me accompanied by the strong pillars of Uganda here, the former vice presidents, Edward Chiwanuka Sekandi, Otiba Gilbert Bukenya, it speaks volumes because we want to revive Buganda this time around. We want a mobilizer. We want somebody who will fill up that gap.
Kasolo pledged to improve service delivery, increase NRM visibility in Buganda, and unite the party members.
But also, I'm not only supported in Buganda here, everywhere. Because
the first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala Kadag, is another SEC member who wants to retain her position as the second National Vice Chairperson, a female. She says she has been a tried and tested leader and wants to continue serving the people of Uganda.
We need a woman's voice from the executive committee. So that is how the position was created. Now to thank the members of the NRM.
The former woman MP for Lamo district in Acholi sub-region, Sarah Lanyero Ocheng, is a fresh entrant in the Central Executive Committee position as the Women's League chairperson. She says she wants to empower the grassroots women.
Empower women. And they have brought many programs. I'm giving you an example of GROW, but it has not trickled down. There is a disconnect between what government is doing and what is done on the ground.
wants to unseat Lydia Wanyoto, who is also seeking re-election for the same position, saying she is the best.
SEC is not only for mobilization. SEC is a think tank. It's the political bureau of the country and of the party. So you need somebody at that rank of merit, qualification, but also wide exposure and a better understanding of the country, like I do. And everybody knows this. That's why they told me to come back and lead them and represent them and also serve them at the highest level as the leader of the women in Uganda.
With my sister, that's why I knew her and I've campaigned for her for the past. But I told her that my sister, it's time you leave space for somebody else. I don't care about money because I have the masses behind me. I have the masses behind me. Actually, I have a lot of people who have been calling me and saying, Honorable, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
The Minister for Security, Jim Wezi, was also nominated to compete in the NRM SEC race in the position for the chairperson for Veterans League and pledged to address the plights of the veterans, including fighting poverty.
The problems of veterans have been alleviated because of that achievement. We have created a circle for the veterans and we intend to help them to get out of poverty on top of the other programs of government where they are beneficiaries, the parish development model, the Myoga, and so on. They also benefit, but we want in a special way to get them a circle where they can benefit. I want to decentralize it, take them to every district.
The youthful MP for Buyamba constituency from Rakai district, Semwanga Gyavira, was nominated for the SEC position of the chairperson Entrepreneurs League. Semwanga wants to ease the process and cost of doing business and involve as many youth in business as possible.
They informed all Ugandans that you cannot push for policies when you are not on the right platform. As a member of parliament, I will be able to ensure that policies regarding entrepreneurs are put forward. I want to call upon all Ugandans to rally behind me to ensure that we develop young entrepreneurs in this field.
Enoch Biaruhanga Bajire was nominated to face the ICT Minister Chris Bariomusi for the National Vice Chairperson for Western Uganda. He pledged to fight corruption and to reduce the size of parliament.
We want to push within honorable members of SEC for policy reform so that we can have a reduction in the size of cabinet, both cabinet and the state ministers, as well as the size of our parliament, so that we can redirect the resources to other productive areas of our economy. At the national level, of course, that's, the parliament is one of the issues at the national level. We have issue of corruption. We have a failed judiciary.
Others nominated were John Rex Achila, who was a member of parliament and also former Local 5 chairperson for Kotido, and served as RDC in various districts. He was nominated for the position for National Vice Chairperson for Karamoja. He wants to sustain the prevailing peace in Karamoja.
And as I speak now, Karamoja is disarmed. We would like to consolidate that peace for the people of Karamoja and for the land of Karamoja, and to make the land prosper. Secondly, we have an issue of unemployment.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Youth voters on your wallet. Bobby, again! What's this drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SITs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No! FOB! Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Back from the break, and thank you so much for watching. Joint security forces in Moroto district have intercepted 108 Eritreans who took Kenyan nationals suspected to have been trafficked into Uganda through the Moroto-Kenya border. Police have also arrested a prominent businessman in Moroto, commonly known as Obama, in connection with the incident. This comes at a time when the country is facing heightened security threats following the killing of 2 suicide bombers in Kampala last month.
Security forces comprising police and UPDF intercepted 108 Eritreans and 2 Kenyan nationals suspected to have been trafficked from Eritrea via Kenya through Moroto district in the Karamoja sub-region. According to security officials, at around midnight last night, they intercepted a bus with Kenyan number plates carrying over 70 people, most of them Eritreans and 2 Kenyan nationals.
We intercepted them, coordinated with Immigration Office Kampala, and then they instructed that we proceed with those Eritreans, illegal Eritreans that entered here to Kampala. The vehicle was too packed beyond the capacity. We decided that we retain some of them behind. 32 of them remain behind out of the 72. 42 went together with our forces. We escorted them to Kampala.
Later, they raided and cordoned off a home in Singila village, Katkekile sub-county, Moroto district, where another 36 Eritreans were found waiting to be transported to Kampala, where they claimed they were to meet relatives in refugee camps.
Yesterday, part 1, I was here in the sub-county. So I saw a bus. I said, buses are coming nowadays here.
Then, through our intelligence, we got the place in this foot of the mountain at Kekile sub-county. When we were doing an operation, we came to realize that there were more, which is 36 now.
Security intelligence indicates that during interrogation, some of the individuals said they were fleeing hardship in Eritrea. The singular village chairperson, Moses Lomaria, 2 men approached him claiming they had settled in the area.
Then I came here, I got only 2 people. The team leader called Kevin and Lomaria, Emma. Then I started introducing them. They told me they are coming here forever. They are coming here forever. They are not going back again. And Kevin told me he has a business in the Kitale. He has a business in the Kapengoria and in Lodua. Then I told you what happened there. He said, no, I'm going to bring all my family here. I can't give you a residential letter for the village. You go to RDC's office or this office and police. When you get the letters from there, then you come to me.
Moroto Deputy Resident District Commissioner Justin Tukosam explains how they got the leads.
Place, it has been open. It was only being first with the chain link. But again, recently, 2 days ago, is when we realized that this place again that day demarcated again, first again with the hind sheets.
Leaders say they are prepared despite the porous border in Karamoja.
Security want now to tighten really our belts such that we secure these porous borders.
Meanwhile, security operatives arrested Moroto businessman Obama over suspected involvement in human trafficking.
So arrested one of the prominent businessman in Moroto here. We have arrested him who have been connected with these people here. They have been in touch.
Authorities say all the individuals will be transported to Kampala for further interrogation as the hunt for their coordinators continues. The operation was led by UPDF 3rd Division Commander Brigadier General Wilberforce Serunkhoma, Police Anti-Stock Theft Commander Francis Chemsto, and Mount Moroto RPC Ahmed Madiri. Among the intercepted individuals are 14 females, with the rest being male. This operation comes at a time when Uganda is grappling with security threats.
5 parishes in Serere district are being surveyed ahead of introducing coffee as a new commercial crop. State Minister for Fisheries Helen Adoa says that the initiative will align the district with the rest of Uganda, where full-scale commercial farming is underway to boost livelihoods. Adoa, who is seeking the NRM party ticket to reclaim the woman MP seat for Serere, highlights climate-smart agriculture and value addition as her key priorities for the district, as Henry Okrut reports.
Throughout Wednesday, Adoa campaigned across various venues in Kasilo County. She was rallying support from NRM structures for her bid to secure the party flag and return to Parliament as Serere's woman MP.
Abuting I lipijo, I lininga. O kereta kete line, o kereta tumunako line ka, o kereta ngoro line ko kereti kilo ko line ka.
Supporters, youth, elders, men and women showed their backing for her campaign. At the forefront of her agenda is introducing coffee cultivation as a transformative venture for the district.
Personally, I want to buy seedlings and distribute to 15 parishes. That can be model, coffee kind of gardens for the rest of the Serere farmers.
Her campaign received a boost when Ann Beatrice Abeja, a declared contender, withdrew from the race. Abeja, currently the district's vice chairperson, is now targeting the Kasilo Town Council representative position.
So I want to be at the district council so that I can be in position to give the new councillors the ideas on how to run the district council.
She's a very disciplined young lady. She has realized that she cannot be able to compete with a person who has done a lot and even supporting her office. So I feel, one, she's of course disciplined. Two, it also shows me that I am in touch with the people.
If Adoa secures the NRM party flag and reclaims her parliamentary seat, Serere could look forward to enhanced service delivery.
I want to see that fisheries goes to another level. We have just had the World Aquaculture Conference. You know, that World Aquaculture Project will now be better.
Helen Adoa is now in a race against Esther Achom for the NRM party flag, with the voters set to decide on 17th July 2025.
Lira District Local Government has cancelled the contentious allocation of 200 acres of land to Chinese firm Zhou and Mahala. The land, part of a 500-acre block meant for an industrial park, was handed to the company without stakeholder engagement, sparking widespread backlash.
Stopping this transaction ordered by Anita.
The storm began when it emerged that 200 acres, part of a 500-acre industrial park land, were quietly handed over to a single investor, raising questions about transparency, local investor inclusion and legality.
Since the minister told me they have no money, they had asked our surveyor to do that work, facilitated by the investor. That's why we did it.
On May 28, 2025, Minister Evelyn Anite wrote to Lira District Chairperson RCM Okelo Rick requesting the allocation of 200 acres of land to Zohu and Mahakala for development of a cassava-based chemical industrial park and drone manufacturing facility. In response to the backlash, Rick blamed Minister Anite and Otuke County MP Paul Omara for allegedly misleading him and pressuring him to allocate the land before it's officially transferred to Uganda Investment Authority, an action that has now placed him under scrutiny.
I want to say this on camera. I was even told by Anita herself. This Uganda Investment Authority are crafty people. They get land free and they sell to investors.
Why do you give a single investor 200 acres?
Otuhe County MP Paul Omara has, however, denied involvement. In a July 1st letter to the UIA Director General, Omara distanced himself and requested for an investigation into the matter, citing the missing land title.
Omara Paul was on top of this thing. That Honorable's chief advisor.
An emergency meeting convened yesterday by Uganda National Chamber of Commerce Lira chapter, local leaders of Lira District and Lira City also resolved that this subdivision be halted until the title is formally transferred to Uganda Investment Authority, and that the Prime Minister should convene a full stakeholder engagement, including domestic investors, before any investment agreements.
An appeal has been made to the Prime Minister to come on board so that this process can be seen to be transparent and the community assured, like we've already listened from the chair of Lira District, that they're not going to give away part of this land. And I think that is the concern of the people, that the industrial park is developed in that context as an industrial park.
But what we want to avoid is a situation where people take advantage for the positions they occupy, begin to create dealer groups and deals at the expense of what government has set out to do, which we believe is critical. We are going into an election. If what used to be the narrative then comes back in play, that government wants to take people's land, you know what that means politically.
The chamber, which financially supported the processing of the land title last year, says the current chaos puts both the park's future and local investor confidence at risk, questioning the trust between government, investors and the people of Lango. Ediolwa, UBC.
Minister for Luwero Renzori Triangle, Alice Kaboyo, has appealed to parents that despite their busy schedules, spare time and talk to children, not ignore the responsibilities of parenthood. Kaboyo says that morals in the children are continuing to decay nowadays due to absence of the parents.
I talked about us parents talking to our children. It is not only Uganda or the kingdom that can talk to the young people about our culture, the importance of our culture, the way we were, the way we grew up. We respected authority, we respected parents, we respected old people, even if they were not your parents. You would respect any old person that you would meet. That is the way we grew up. But these young people on social media, they are using obscene language, abusing authority, abusing leaders, abusing their parents. I want to really appeal to parents to really go back, to find time to talk to these children, to use social media. As networks are good for development, but if we use them badly, then we are not doing ourselves. We should use these new technologies in a good way to develop us, to learn from others, because now the whole world has become really close. We should learn from other cultures, but not learn bad cultural tendencies. We should only learn things that can develop us, develop as people, or develop our communities.
Yes, Uganda network of young people living with HIV and AIDS in partnership with the Mbale Best Network of Young People Living with HIV have embarked on an intensifying campaign to spread information sharing on the virus in a bid to combat HIV and AIDS by 2030. We have details to this.
Of young people living with HIV/AIDS, information sharing and limited access to HIV/AIDS services is a big attribute to increase of HIV among the youths in Mbale and Elgon region at large. Speaking to UBC in an interview, Mweru highlighted that the network has embarked on rolling out a campaign to move in schools and different communities, spreading information regarding the spread of the virus.
Actually, we do school outreaches. We go to schools and we share the HIV prevention information with young people in schools, but also we target those even in the community. We have community activities meant to meet those young people, and we share with them the HIV prevention services.
Robert Wandwasi, the HIV focal person, expressed fear that the number of young people that are knowledgeable on HIV preventive measures are still low, yet that the majority of the country's population.
We might not be able to combat the HIV we are talking about, and especially in our young people. Of course, coupled with that, we have very low knowledge of condom use. Our young people in this district, when you interact with them, about only 8% know how to use a condom, so that a condom can help them to protect them from either HIV or any other sexually transmitted disease. But of course, this worries us.
Wandwasi also expressed concern of a big percentage of people in Mbale district that have not tested for HIV for the last 1 year, which according to him is a serious issue as Uganda pursues its objective to have the virus eliminated out of the country by 2030.
In this district, we have only about 52% of the people who have taken an HIV test in the last 1 year. So meaning that as we are looking at our 95, 95, 95, our triple 95s, it means that we shall not be able to achieve our targets as a country. Why? Because you have a whole 48% of our people who do not know their status.
Meanwhile, Nyanzi Huzair, the chairperson of Ginger Best Network of Young People Living with HIV/AIDS, urged the young people to exploit the opportunities associated with using the social media platforms.
What we have to do is to feed the online community, to feed it with the information. There are gaps. For example, we have the new interventions on HIV prevention, the PEP and PrEP. I'm encouraging young people to use this platform to share this information.
Network of Young People Living with HIV is optimistic that with collaborative efforts from the stakeholders, Uganda is set to stamp out AIDS.
Minister for Local Governments Rafai Majezi has urged all village council chairpersons to use their authority to elevate communities from poverty to prosperity, particularly through agriculture. He emphasized that awareness campaigns and embracing modern farming techniques are essential for rural development.
Rafael Majezi has asked local council chairpersons to be of more value in fighting poverty through coordinating and sensitizing natives to adopt modern farming practices. This was in Chiriandongo, where farmers converged to testify the impact of modern farming practices.
Become detailed in terms of what does the chairman of the village, what does the chairman of the sub-county, what does the chairman of the district want his or her to do. Some of these cannot be found in the national laws.
And they die poor. And in your mind, believe that you'll be better off. No. Asili Yara teach us the value of innovation, the value of knowledge, the value of trying something new.
Farmers praised the training on techniques like precise planting, soil management,
they change the yield from the best profit that they can get with
adopting modern practices and using yellow fertilizers. They now average 40 of. According to an IPI convened Ugandan
such as the parish development model.
And diplomas in nursing, medical laboratory.
We find that law doesn't put us
ahead of us.
opportunities of service and are very many challenges.
I am so excited to be a winner from this place. All he had to do was to download the collagen.
Election campaign registration is now open.
Infrastructure to directly benefit the communities.
We want to connect all sub-counties to the grid in order
distribution transformers covering over 70 kilometers of medium households, businesses, and public facilities.
We sought a right of way. And put the poles up, and they were abandoned. So what we are doing now is to come, put up the transformers. This project is costing gas.
Trading centers, Kichwamba